Well, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer in this country every 3 minutes. This is according to the American Cancer Society. And treatment for the disease, as many of you out there know, often includes chemotherapy, which is the use of chemicals to stop the growth of cancer cells. A common side effect of chemo is hair loss, which can be difficult, as you can imagine, for many women. And so this morning we have a special guest in our studio to help women better understand and cope with their hair loss. She's here as part of our Hear Us Roar Healthy Living Corner, a partnership we share with Woman Magazine. Please welcome to our show soap opera star and cancer hair loss consultant Amy Gibson. Good morning to you, Amy.
Hi there. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us. A lot of people have heard of chemotherapy, may not know exactly what it is. What is chemo?
Chemo is basically a variety of agents that are designed to kill cancer cells. But unfortunately, they're designed to kill rapidly developing cells, which can happen in hair and mucous membranes and skin, which is why hair loss is affected. You know,
it's interesting because for a lot of women, their hair is their what? Their crowning glory.
Absolutely.
And so when you hear you have to go through chemo, certainly that takes an emotional toll, and you're already trying to cope with the diagnosis. And I guess in a situation like that, it's really hard to keep a positive attitude.
It's incredibly difficult. I think the one thing you have to remember is we have to get calm first. I mean, you know, women that are going through this treatment, and I have dealt with thousands of women that are dealing with this. They're given so much information. They're on overload that you need to stop for a minute.
Okay.
This is an area where, you know, when everybody else is making your choices, this is an area where you're going to have control. Is your hair loss. You can get it control. You can realize that, number one, it's temporary. With me, I have no hair. It's not temporary. With them, it is. It's going to grow back 6 months to a year afterwards. It may not have the same texture. It may not have the same color. It may be a little thin, but it'll grow back. And in time after their treatment, they can take laser. They can go through topical treatments. There's a number of supplements out there that can really help you strengthen your hair. So it's not the end of the world, but it feels that way. It does feel that way.
You know, it's interesting because you mentioned you have no hair. So for you, you know, it's gone. It's not going to grow back. And so it sounds like that this came out of a really personal thing for you.
Oh, let's see. Cathartic? Want to use the word cathartic? It is. Yeah. And that's why when a woman comes to me and she goes, you have no idea how I feel. No,
You're like, yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Yeah. And I get it.
And now you had alopecia.
I have alopecia. I do.
And that's just complete.
Well, there's 3 types of alopecia. I have the one that only affects the hair on the scalp. And, you know, I often look at women that are really okay with not wearing a wig, and I go, you're my hero, because that's not where I'm at. But with women that have to deal with this, there is a hair loss process. And I try to first take them through the process of what they're going to be looking at so they're in control. If you have knowledge, you can get through it. If you don't know where you're going, 45 million women right now in this country are dealing with hair loss. And it's not something that we learn about in school. It's not something our parents teach us unless there's a family member or a friend that has it. So we're taught from a young age that, baldness is illness. So that's why when a woman's going to lose her hair, it's already instilled, oh my gosh, I'm ill. And it's really not about that, because there are alternatives out there. You can quickly, if you have your hands on what you need and you have the tools, you get a fabulous wig. You can look fantastic.
Well, you have helped a lot of these women on an emotional level, but you've also created hair options for them as well, right?
I have. But more than hair options, I've created soul options for women. You know, to get really in touch and feel complete. I think it's important that you find a wig that looks like you. You look in the mirror and you go, yeah, that's me. There's something very empowering that happens when your emotions are stabilized during this time, and feeling like a woman during a time when much is being taken away from you is where it's at.
So what would your message be then, Amy, for women who may be getting ready to start chemotherapy, may have gone through chemotherapy? What would you say to them? What's the takeaway?
Well, first of all, remember, girls, we're more than hair. But this is a time that is an amazing time. We're living with medical breakthroughs. And unfortunately, I see a lot of women who are told a diagnosis and they just accept it, you know? I'm into maybe researching. Going out there and finding out what's out there for yourself is really important. There's amazing, you had someone on social media recently, huh? Your hands are on your fingertips, the most incredible knowledge right now. A Cancer Connect. These are women that are all dealing with the same thing that can reach out. It's important to know that this is very temporary. This is not permanent. And you know, when I was going through this, there was nobody there to help me. There was nobody there to explain, how do I deal with it? How do I tell a friend? How do I date with a wig on? What do I do? How do I walk against the wind?
He wants to rub his hands through your hair. What am I gonna, right.
I mean, that's real fear of women. And so I developed something over the years, these techniques that are called the Pearl Program that thousands of women have learned by. And I am writing a book that's coming out now called Sex, Wigs, and Whispers. And it's how to be intimate, have sex, how to date, when to tell him, when not, with your wig on, without him ever finding out.
Well, I tell you, you've done a wonderful job, wonderful work, and just touching so many women's lives.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us on the show this morning.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if you'd like more information about Amy or Created Hair, simply check out the website, createdhair.com. And if you like what you've seen here on the show today, keep watching, because the Balancing Act has a lot of great information from our Hear Us Roar Healthy Living Corner.